You probably have to unmute yourself. It's down at the bottom, right next to the headphones. If you click on that, you should be able to unmute yourself. Still shows red mic. Well, yeah, try it, but you might have to unmute yourself at the bottom there. The bottom left, right by the bar where you type in. You should see gear and a headphone and the mic button, and that mic button should be unmuted. If it might still be red, just click on it and you'll unmute yourself. Sorry, I thought we did a mic check earlier. Anyways, while Bodhi Zai's figuring out that he doesn't have permissions or not, I will drop some more links. Once again, here is Discord audio strikes again. Yeah, the Discord audio sometimes strikes. It strikes hard when it strikes. It happened to me, actually, the first show. The first show I was supposed to come on with Dab Dragon, actually. I had a $175 laptop, and I tried. This is how noob I was at the time. I thought that I would be able to run Discord and jump on Decentraland at the same time on my crappy laptop back then. And I found out pretty quickly it worked right up until I tried to turn the mic on from like Chrome. And as soon as I did that, everything freaked out and crashed. And I left Dab Dragon hanging for like the last 20 minutes of the first show. So that was fun. I was freaking out trying to reboot it, everything, screaming at the laptop. I got a new computer after that. But we're still having some issues. We may have to. I mean, I'm a big proponent of turning it off and turning it on, Bodhi. What I do is, if all else fails, I just turn the computer off and turn it on. We're going to drop some of Bodhi's marketplace links so you can go check out some of his work right now. I'm going to drop some of these links first, and then I'll just go into Decentraland. And if we can't get the mic working for him, I'll just ask him questions and type. Yeah, all right, yeah, do it. Go, yeah, just go crazy. Just turn it off the computer and turn it on again.
How about now?
Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. We didn't all have to go all nutty on it. Glad we can hear you. Can everybody hear him? Can everybody hear Bodhi pretty well?
Can everybody hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there's a little bit of echo, but not really that bad.
Yeah, just let me know if it gets too bad, and then I'll
well, you did. Yeah, you did cut out a little bit right there. So, but we'll just do our best. Anyhow, all right. I'll go ahead and go into Decentraland. I'm going to go ahead and screen share with everybody here. Pulling up screen share. Boom, pick screen share. Oh, see, Token Smart springs for the best, and we get to stream this stuff in 1080 at 60 frame rate, which my new computer can definitely handle. So that's nice. Oh, yeah. Level 26, Foxy. All right. So we are in the new and improved. Oh, look at our neighbors, by the way. Our neighbors are really building out. Our neighbor right here, Ink Terrorist. He's a good guy. He purchased one of our Cybercats, one of our Cybercat collections from Dietrich, actually. Dietrich. I mispronounced that name. But he actually expanded it over another level. He tried to do this like a month ago, right when Koenig had their grand opening. And I don't know how, but he crashed all three of our scenes. And I get a call from Baked.eth about 8 in the morning, and he's like, "Oh, our scenes are all crashing. This is a disaster, you know." And this was like a day before we are supposed to have a Dab Dragon show. So luckily, I had already talked. I bumped into Ink Terrorist on in here just randomly and had a live conversation with him and had connected with him on Twitter. Yeah, and that was like months ago. So I luckily knew who. And I was able to call him up, hit him up on Twitter and get him to take his new scene down, or else he would have crashed the grand opening of Koenig Gallery. And they're like super established, modern. And that would have not been great. But that just in time. Can everybody see the gallery now here in Decentraland?
Yeah, it's streaming low on my end.
Great. Well, man, all right. Well, how about you just take a couple of minutes and introduce yourself and how you got into crypto art and, give us your background.
Okie dokie. Yeah, so this is my first time doing this, so excuse me if I mess it up. And I'll try to keep my comments short so I don't cut out too often.
Yeah, I guess if you just speak constantly, it might not cut out.
So yeah, I'm Bodhi Zai. I got into the art scene. Well, basically, I was born into it. My parents were musician, artist, hippie types, and so that was my influence. Pretty much growing up, I've always had an eye for photography. Grew up with the Polaroids and the old school disposable cameras that had the capacitors that would shock the crap out of you. And as technology advanced, I just slowly got to working in it. Life gets busy with marriage and kids and whatnot. So I'm not really as awesome at it as others are, but I'm here and I seem to put out some good art because the people are hitting that follow button, whatnot. And so, but it's not more. It's not just about that, but it is nice to see the art be appreciated, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge motivator if you see that people are paying attention or moved by what you're doing and enjoy what you're creating. A lot of respects, art in general these days is just so permeated in entertainment, you don't even realize it's there.
Well, yeah, and not to get off on a side tangent or anything like that, but that's kind of something that I don't like about the art scene is that a lot of it tends to be regurgitated from stuff that's been put out before, and it's I just it's a hard balance to try to like not be super influenced by something, and then to also come up with your own thing. You know what I mean? Like if that makes any sense, I don't know.
I personally always err on the side of being less influenced and less informed when it comes to creativity stuff. I have this weird saying that like the writer who never reads is guaranteed to be coming up with authentic content. But then again, it's a double-edged sword, obviously.
Yeah, true that. Yeah. Very much so. And to man, I don't know where to go. So you have to help me kind of guide. Like I said, it's my first time. So what else do I need to expand upon? Sorry.
How did you specifically get into crypto art? I think is on a lot of people's minds these days. That's a question that generally gets asked early on in these types of interviews. So, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, that totally helps. Well, so basically, I got into crypto art because I was into crypto since I had a friend introduce me to Bitcoin mining back in like 2010, and that time span, I think you could still mine it on like a powerful, desktop and whatnot. And I didn't really think.
Oh no, we may have lost Bodhi. Bodhi! No. Discord audio, man. It's a love-hate relationship that I have with Discord audio. Did he drop out completely? It looks like he dropped out completely. I bet you like somebody tripped over a cord at his place or something. Well, that's unfortunate. You guys want to see the... I'll just go back to the scene. It's probably a network. I'll just go back to the scene. He's probably going to take like a couple of minutes to get back on. So I'm just going to walk around. I'm going to do this thing. Okay, so here's a trick. If you're looking at the screen again, if you don't want to take... Okay, you can just take our pad here. Right? And you just get on top of the pad. You can get underneath it. It'll come down, pick you up. Oh, I might not have set it up to go high enough this time around. It's always a work in progress, even though it looks like we have a really simple gallery compared to everybody else's. We do have a couple tricks up our sleeve, like the invisible floor. Baked.eth figured this one out. This was a pretty cool idea he had on, so that we could walk up close and check out the ones on top in the front. I really don't have... Actually... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to put an invisible floor on the backside because we don't actually own the land. Soon as you step on this right here, it's just like, oh, we don't own it. So, anybody see Bodhi yet? Bodhi. Oh, another thing about Bodhi is he happened to run into somebody in real life. Guy's name's Vince, and he ran into this guy in real life right around the time I was asking BBStudios members if they knew anybody good that could work for cheap and get us a new website. It's the one I put together on WordPress crap. So he randomly bumped into this guy right at the same time, and this guy is a ex Simpsons illustrator. Back in the 90s, ex Simpsons illustrator. He was part of a team that was in charge of bringing in new characters, like celebrities that would do guest spots on the Simpsons. I think he worked on Sting, I believe. So like how they represented Sting in Simpsons. So that was pretty cool. So I was pretty excited when I got to talk to him on the phone, and that was, yeah, Bodhi Zai, come back, Sandy. I know. Bodhi's. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's probably trying to get his audio working again. Okay, he's at least back in the room. We're almost back on track. You know, we started 10 minutes early, so technically, we really haven't lost anything. Yeah, no, it happened to me. Bodhi, this is a good sign. No, this is funny. This is what happened to me the first time. Only I didn't even make it in to begin with. Hey, what's up, EZ? Thanks for showing up early. Putting in a long day today, man. I'm gonna stick around after the show, and I ate early, so I'm just gonna hang out to this show and be on yours. This is awesome. We get to go back to back. I'm super stoked. I know, super stoked that we're back to back. Super awesome. So Bodhi's probably getting his mic back up in action.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave my Discord up, and then I'm not gonna watch your stream or do anything else.
Oh yeah. If you were you in Decentraland, or were you just watching my stream?
Negative. I was just watching the stream.
Oh, okay. Well, it might be too taxing even to do that. Yeah, just keep, and I'll describe which one I'm looking at, and then you can comment.
Okay, cool. So where did you lose me at?
Pretty much right when you're about to describe how you got into crypto.
Okay. All right. Well, so I don't know if you caught it, but I had a friend who introduced me into Bitcoin mining about 2010 or so. I didn't really think much of it until last year, whenever the COVID crash happened. And that was the timing worked out where I had the cash to buy in for that huge open window. And then so I started there with that.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me you just checked a wallet that you had open in minings from 2010 and you happen to be a multimillionaire by now.
No, that's actually an episode of The Big Bang Theory. But no, I wish, man, that would be awesome. No, that actually led me into seeing Paris Hilton sell her NFT back in like May or so of last year, and that's kind of what piqued my interest into the whole NFT market as a whole.
Oh, that's funny. I actually got into NFT market through .eth domains myself. That's how I found out 711.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's also plenty of people that I've spoken with who are traditional type of artists in their own right, but they had no idea about crypto art or and everything that it entails.
You know, somebody made an interesting observation that when we transitioned macro mediums like from radio to television, you know, the people that were radio stars weren't necessarily the television stars, right? Because a new medium, that much of a new medium, requires a different set of skills, almost.
Well, yeah, that's true because I mean you have to be able to portray the same body language through sound, I guess, in a nutshell. So yeah, there's a definite different method, I guess, for lack of better word.
I don't know. I feel like that macro medium transition that crypto art is to regular art, I think personally has allowed people like myself that weren't directly involved in the old art world feel like they could get involved in this world.
Well, I haven't really seen or observed that myself. I mean, but like, that's totally awesome. There. So I don't really have much more to expand on that.
Well, I guess, for example, the generative art stuff that's coming out, art that's created by computer code that, computer programmers create.
Oh, well, yes. Okay, yeah, in that context. Well, I mean, and yeah, so for me, the technological aspect of the NFTs and how they can help us out as a society in the future is what interests me, like, probably more than like the art. It's because I'm kind of a techie nerd. But I mean, but like, aside from art, it'll allow us to just change the way that we do business, but it'll be for the better, I think. And
Yeah.
Here, we in the art, it's crypto art movement are like the forebears or what have you of that.
Yeah, you got to stay a little bit closer to your mic or something. You're kind of cutting out.
Yeah. Sorry, is this a little better?
Yeah, it's a lot. Are you using like push to talk right now on your Discord?
Yeah, should I change it? Sorry.
I feel like sometimes push to talk screws things up, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Okay, let me try it. All right, how about this? We'll just try it like for a while.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean,
sorry, apologies again. This is my first time doing this, everybody. I'm kind of shyish and awkward when it comes to talking anyways. Having a speech impediment, stutter doesn't help that, but I'm doing my best, so please bear with me.
No, that's dude, that's why the live cast format's awesome. Because if you screw it up at all, there's no records of it.
I mean, yeah, true that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Sandy will attest to this. Actually, I did a show a while back probably, I don't know, like 6 or 8 weeks back, about lucid dreaming, and I was so nervous. I railroaded over Sandy the entire time. It's supposed to be like a conversation, and I was just like all over the place. It was bad. So it's totally fine, and we'll just get started. I'll pull up the screen again here. All right. First of all, I'm on the back side now, and I'm looking at your Bodhi Zai logo, which is awesome. Where'd you come up with that? Did you come up with that just for this show, or I didn't see this before?
No, actually, I needed a signature, and that's my current one right now. And I just worked over a picture of a friend doing that open mouth thing there in Photoshop. My daughter actually drew the eyeballs herself, and so I stuck those in there because it looked kind of cool, you know, the
Nice,
little,
yeah.
you know, big mouth with the eye thing. And then just I picked a font, stuck Bodhi's eye up there, and I like, to me, it just, you know, that yes kind of thing that everybody does. That's kind of what it reminded me of.
Nice, nice. I almost thought it was like a cobra in the background.
Well, see, that's the cool thing about art, though, is that it's totally up to the viewer as to how it's interpreted, and like
Right.
and that is something that goes, you know, across mediums. You know, like from like the visual arts to the music, you know, so on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what people like to. I don't know. Personally, I like to hear what what the artists themselves were. Oh, hey, somebody's over here. I'm gonna send a friend request here. Zinko, coming to say hi. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works with the realms around here, but there's like I just found out there's multiple different realms of Decentraland. So like sometimes you can get sharded into your own experience. And that's why it looks empty sometimes around here. All right, what is this picture you took? Did you take this picture above? It's just of the sea with looks like just a dock to the right.
Yes, that's
Okay.
actually one of my own. I took that a few years back in Portland, Texas. I used to live in Texas before I relocated back to the Pacific Northwest. But I was pulling all my gear out to set up for some pier fishing for that night, and turned around and I saw that scene, and I just took a picture, and that's kind of how I do things. I just happenstance see a good scene in my mind, and then okay, cool, you know, just take a bunch of pictures of it, and then put on my stock. But anyways, yeah, so this one here, it's just a showcase of the natural beauty of Mother Earth. You know, the this one's actually up for sale on my Ghost Market. And how I described it there is that the waning sunlight made the water look like warm gallium. You know what I mean? And just how the light and the shadows, and I don't know, it was a good picture. So I took
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I really love these types of pictures myself, especially water type picture. You caught a nice reflection off the water that shows some of the waves in the too.
Yeah. And that's a wonderful spot for fishing, by the way. Yeah, but the only thing I really caught that night was a puffer fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should
Did
actually
it
make an
puff up?
NFT of that thing. Yeah,
Did it
yeah.
puff up when you tried to take it off the line?
Oh yeah, yeah. I use a towel, you know, because they kind of spiny and slimy and whatnot. But yeah, they'll make a little like a weird noise, and they'll start to puff up in your hand.
Wow, that's wild. Where was the fishing spot down there?
You see, if you're looking at the picture there, the pier kind of goes off to the left a little bit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that night I chose that in the pier.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of right where the sun is. Yeah.
What's this other picture of the windmills over above
Okay.
the clouds?
So when I'm not doing art and whatnot, I'm a electrical mechanical technician type, and I actually spent a couple of years in the wind industry. And that was one morning I had climbed up to the top, popped the hatch, looked out, and saw that beautiful scene, and pulled out my camera and took it.
So we're talking. These are the big ones with the blades that are like 100 meters long or something crazy, huh?
That's correct. Yes, we were 300 feet tall,
Wow.
so about 30 meters, I guess that would be ish. So
That's pretty
but
wild.
but yeah, I mean, just the cool thing about Texas is that when the weather changes, you can literally see it happen. Like that was probably about 6:30 in the morning, if I think back correctly, and just the it's just the physics of the hot air, warming everything up, and it's creating a nice blanket of foggy clouds there.
Yeah, it looks like
like
almost a thermocline.
well, yeah, and to me, and from another point of view, they look like sentinel giants. Just they're doing their own thing, kind of like the sentient trees and Lord of the Rings. They just kind of do their own thing until they're needed.
Or like the heads on Easter Island.
Oh yeah, true that. Yeah, even more so there. Yeah,
If the blades
so
broke down, almost look the same.
yeah, that's that was a fun gig, doing that.
Did you ever base jump off of
No, negative.
Would it be possible to? Not.
I wouldn't recommend it off one of those. I don't think they're quite tall enough. There's other ones out there that are like 500 feet tall that would,
really?
like out in Europe and whatnot. Yeah.
I didn't know they made them that tall.
Oh yeah, man, they're huge.
That's wild. I personally think we should just have a shit ton of those things all over the place, especially the ones that I don't know. I guess there's special ones that don't hurt birds or something, or there's like a coating or something, or some way they can keep birds away.
I don't know about that. I mean, it happens from time to time, but like it's not like they're getting massacred by the millions or anything like that. It's
Right.
like I think in the 2 years I was there at that farm, I found maybe one bird that was at the base of a tower dead, and maybe one bat. And in each case, we have to go through and report it to the Fish and Wildlife and all that stuff. There's a couple of procedures, but yeah,
that's good.
Right. So, point being is that they're not as dangerous to wildlife in that regard as people would say.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
What's this 8-ball? What's this 8-ball picture? This is awesome.
So I actually called that piece is called Sour the Skittle. It's one of my earlier pieces that was actually my first piece ever sold. Back in February. And that's just me messing around with a photo app on my phone. Most of my work like this actually starts out as just a regular picture of some trees or some nature scene, and then I twist it and play with it until I get this.
Really?
The perspective, right? Yeah.
Wow.
No kidding. So, I mean, I would like to say that the majority of the time I just kind of wing it, and this piece right here is the result of that. And it just how the scene of the sphere, it looks like something kind of out of the Matrix, scanning columns for information and doing checks and whatnot. So it looked very sci-fi to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the creation that I was able to get out of it. It looks very old school, Marvelish, like how you play back there.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really it's a cool effect, and you really brought that green out with the reflection there too.
Yeah, man. Thank you. It's
that's a really nice piece. I kind of just it reminds me of just like, I don't know, like 8-ball falling down into the abyss of a pocket or something. Only the pocket's like elongated, planal.
That's a good perspective of it. Actually, and so I was trying to stay away from the 8-ball, feel, because that's just been kind of overplayed ish, over the years. But so that was not my intention, really.
Not your intention.
Right, but that goes back again to the to individual and how they perceive it. So
Well, it is. You only have
problem.
a bit of a hemisphere now that I'm looking at it closer, so that's true. It's
Yeah.
It's not completely spherical. It's more of a hemisphere now that I look at it. But yeah,
Right, yeah.
I wasn't aware of the 8-ball trend either. Like I said, I'm fairly new to the crypto art. I have noticed a couple of trends so far in crypto art, just because this space moves so quickly. You can see trends happen in real time.
Sure, yeah, and that when I say trend, that was more of this real world trend. Like, here, put this 8-ball in your shifter or something like that. Kind of thing. So that's what I was trying to not to do. But,
Gotcha. Well, the way I set these scenes, for some reason, I don't know if Decentraland changed this, but I can only watch your videos once before I have to reload the scenes. We're going to go ahead and watch the whiskey video. I really like this piece. This was one of the first pieces I put up for you in their CryptoVoxels.
yes, actually, this is one of the first pieces I actually did with the intention of tokenizing it. That was taken at a company lunch, I believe, after work, and at the glass of Jameson on the rocks, kind of melted down. We had the South Texas heat there, and the location is a bar grill with the music venue, and there in the back, to the left, right behind the glass, you can see the stage there. So the lights were kind of already there, with the stage lights, and so I got it. And the animation, I don't know if everybody can see it, but it's basically just there in the glass itself.
Yeah, no, I really like that about that animation. I think I couldn't when I put it up in CryptoVoxels. I can't remember if I could get it in there as a GIF or if I had to put it in still. I think I had it as a still, but I like that effect that you put in there with that. Oh, awesome. Is that side like a pull up side so that it can be like indoor outdoor bar?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, we got one of those like that in our town too. That's really nice. I like that. It's always a fun place to hang out. All right, somebody else ran in here. Right through the scene. Going on to the next one here, the neon skull video. I'll go ahead and play this.
So this one also has some sound with it. I don't know if it can be heard through.
I could hear it. I don't know if anybody else could hear it.
So so that one's called Perpetually Waiting. I have that up on Go Market. That actually sold, and the collector infused it with about 8 other ones, and then relisted it for a crap ton. So I was really surprised about that.
Oh, so you can nest NFTs on Ghost Market like you can in church articles?
Yes, my little understanding of it so far you can, but to get them out, you have to burn the one that they're infused in.
Ooh, that's that introduces an interesting.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, the UI there is it's good. Nothing wrong with it. So far, Ghost Market's done well. There's not that many. It's not as popular as all the other mainstream ones, but that I think is a very good thing. Excuse me. So
yeah. No, there needs to be a multitude of different markets, and that'll happen eventually. I think hopefully, I don't know. Some people would say that there'll be less markets in the future. I'd hopefully say there'd be as many as the markets could support. In general.
Well, on that note, I think we will expand with how many markets we have out there, and then the ones that don't work will kind of call themselves out.
Right.
But we're definitely not over the hill in terms of this whole NFT scape. Right now we may be in a winter, but we got 20 plus years of all this stuff happening, in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started. It's definitely like a Like a Bitcoin. When was the earliest winner in Bitcoin? 2000
Oh,
something.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
You're
for
like,
in 2016, the price was like 405 or something. Yeah. So
right. Yeah, I remember it dipped down to like $60 at one point. Keeping track of it. So yeah, I think we're just super early. I think that gaming has the potential. Gaming worlds, entire gaming worlds, has the potential to lay a lot more foundation needed to support, tens of thousands, if not hundreds or millions of artists. I think that's a possibility one day, maybe.
well, yeah, and that movie Ready Player One, I mean, at the bare of it, like the whole premise of it, of having this online world that we can, that is basically, I think, what we maybe unfortunately are heading towards. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into that whole thing where we just sit in a chair with the thing on our, and like a little robot goes around and does stuff for us.
Well, you could argue a lot of jobs pay you to do that right now.
Okay, so touche.
But you're just not having fun. So,
Yeah.
I would argue that maybe it's a step up from having just boring jobs that make you sit in a chair all day.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that one.
But I don't know. That's just my take on that. But yes, I do see some similarity. That movie is very much foreboding and warning in some respects.
Yeah. There's a few of them out there like that.
I commented. I was talking with a friend when we were testing out the Mega Cube in Decentraland, and I was like, does this feel a little reward century? Yeah, when they're like their loyalty centers or whatever that people had to go to.
I haven't really spent a lot of time like exploring Decentraland, but I did find this one thing where you can like you mine some sort of gem or something like that, or
Oh yeah, yeah.
points or
The meteor miners. Yeah,
yeah.
we've checked that out. I don't know about anybody else if anybody got rewards from Megacube, but my friend actually got a Rob Nest. But he's still waiting to collect whenever. Actually, they should be sending out the rewards pretty soon since the ETH gas is cooling off. They'd said at one point that that's what they were waiting on. I went out and claimed my paint because I want a whole bunch of paint.
BBStudios, Mega Cube started the drops in their channel. They're just doing a few drops at a time. So if you go to the Polygon channel, you will see which ones have already dropped. So WoW rewards have dropped, TVK, and a few NFTs have started. So people have started to get in.
Oh, cool! Thanks, G. Thanks for that update. Appreciate that. I didn't realize who was chiming in at the time. Yeah. So that's awesome that people are getting their rewards. Hey, Ziggy, what's going on, buddy? Just saw you right there. Give a big shout out. All right, so we're gonna play the last video here that we have. We had 3 on the scene. So Bodhi. Oh.
I don't know if you can hear that, but the weed the lawn people are outside with freaking leaf blowers, so you have to excuse that if you can hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse the last video. It doesn't look like it's playing. So, what was the last video? Had it played?
So that one is called Unsound. That is a little kaleidoscope piece that I worked from one of my pictures again. The sound to it, though, is a song that my dad wrote and is sung by one of his friends. But it's just a little snippet of the entire song, just trying to get some awareness and ears on his music, because he's not actively trying to get into the scene. He's aware of it, but he's allowed me to try to sell his music, whatnot, to get it out there. And so I kind of collaborated with him on that regard, and that pretty much explains that piece there.
All right. Well, I went ahead and reloaded the scene while you're describing that, and So now we'll walk up and hopefully we'll. Oh, you know what? Last time I held up my speaker to my headphones so that you guys could hear that because I don't think it was punching through to Discord. So that's what I'll do this time. We'll play it. Hold on a second.
No, I'm not able to hear anything myself. But if nothing else, and not you can just
Can you hear
see
it?
and yeah.
Did
Hello?
you pick that up?
No.
Oh, damn. I thought that would work.
Yes.
That is a really cool song, though. I like that a little bit. I'd like to hear the whole song, actually.
Well, yeah. I'm working out trying to figure a way to put out what he has as kind of a album, but doing it tokenized, and so I'm just not fully researched on how to properly do that yet.
Well,
But
I believe, if I'm not
Sure.
mistaken, somebody let me in on the Discord channel here. Isn't Dow Records doing that?
Yes, actually, I had looked into them at one point. Actually, I'll have to go back and see what, but we did correspond, and then life happened and, got busy and whatnot. So,
Yeah,
but yes, they
Vandal.
do.
Vandal, that's the guy. That's the dude in charge of that, I believe, right? Savage Prebes, Vandal. Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Ziggy, was there a problem with my audio? Okay. Oh, it was all Ziggy. All right. Yeah. No, that's so cool. Ziggy, I spent like half hour of a show the other day, like bitching about how I didn't have audio, and just that my listening channel was minimized. I see it. So happens to the best of us. Okay. Let's go on. Move on. I'm going to get back on top of the invisible floor here and take a look at these top pieces that I showcased that I really liked. Let's start off with this super tripped out one. Oop, hold on a sec. I need to get the elevator back up. My elevator's only semi in order at the moment. All right, going on up. Now I just got to jump above the invisible plane, and there we're on. Okay. Now, what's up with this trippy one, man? This one's crazy. It looks like somebody driving into something.
Yes, so that one is entitled Strange Days on the
Like
Strange
after
Days
the
on
movie?
well, kind of, yeah, DAZE. Strange Days in Zone 420. And it was meant to be for it dropped for the date 420. But
Okay.
things got in the way, and I kind of put it out like the next day. So that was the reason behind that, and that was actually it's a composite of two of my pictures. One is the actual underneath all the color and the deep dream. That's a picture of I think the desert in Utah when I was making the road trip from Texas up to here, and
Nice.
the foreground, the dashboard, and the hand on the steering wheel. That is from whenever my wife and I went to San Francisco for this little city love tour, and this company has these VW vans all painted up hippie style, with cool looking, doily balls
Yeah.
hanging on the inside. So they take you on a tour of the whole city. And so that was originally a scene of we were on top of this hill going down towards the buildings, the typical San Francisco shot. And so I just worked those two pictures in with each other and then stuck it through a deep dream generator. And that was
nice. I was wondering if you did that because I noticed the eyes, sort of eye-looking type thing features all over the place, and I noticed that I was like thinking to myself, man, the Deep Dream kind of does that sometimes.
Yeah, I kind of saw that being used as a tool, and I actually have a a few tools in my toolbox aside from the Adobe suite. But the Deep Dream is one I hadn't really tried, and it kind of the end result was kind of the effect that I was wanting to achieve for a piece for 420. And so it kind of worked out pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah, well,
Off to the
see,
left. Go ahead.
that gets. No, I'm just. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm just saying that just goes back to my opinion that like sometimes like the people that didn't think to use that thing as a tool, right? That's how you know, as someone that might not be a traditional artist could excel in this area because they may be thinking of new ways to use new tools to create this.
Well, true, and that's how you innovate in anything. Really, is applying new tools and concepts to the things that you've been already doing. You know, and so that you don't, what do they say? The try attempting to do the same thing over and over again, and not expecting. I'm murdering that quote, but yeah.
Yeah, you did murder that quote. It's doing the same thing every time and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
That's awesome. You did properly murder.
Oh yeah. So the point I was gonna say, of an upper left, it strangely looks like one of those crypto punks that's out there these days. I mean, that may be the human condition to pick out faces and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, at any rate, it definitely looks like some sort of dude wearing a mask underneath the hood, or maybe it's Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah, no, I can see it now. You're pointing it out. It definitely looks distinctly different from the rest of the picture.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was just Deep Dream pulling something in from somewhere else and just randomly expanding that part right over there. See, that's what's cool about using that kind of stuff as an input.
Well, right. And that goes back into your point about the generative art is using that tool, you'll come up with results that are like new and that you would have never come up with had you not obviously used that tool. So
yeah, my own opinions on generative art are changing quite a bit, actually. I didn't really have that positive view of generative art when I first got into seeing, to be honest. But my opinions of that are
well, yeah, and there's a difference between letting your computer spit out some random, zeros and ones to create art, and then building a robot and letting it like swing a brush around with some paint and then calling that, you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd say the degree I respect generative art is the degree where, the artist is involved in crafting how it's going to be generated.
Right. But yeah. But yeah, so
like if we let AI take over completely, then what's the point?
I mean, yeah, Skynet.
Yeah.
Fighting for our lives in the end anyway.
I mean, I think they have a Skynet. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Did you not watch the movie?
Yeah, it's like they like that was a really awful thing that happened in that movie. Let's try to build it in real life.
Yeah. And fine, if you're gonna build it in real life, that's okay. But do you really have to call it the same damn thing too? I mean, geez, you're just tempting fate. It's horrible. I don't know. I digress. All right, let's go. Let's check out this one. This one's pretty sweet. This one might be my favorite because I'm a big fan of landscapes.
Well,
So
thank you.
This one I really like, especially. Like, what did you? Can I ask what you did this in?
That was all Photoshop. I just took my original picture, put it in Photoshop, hit the oil painting screen, button with filter effect, and that's what it popped out. I was like, okay, that's all I need to do to it. And then,
that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect.
That is actually. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I mean, it's just, like I wouldn't necessarily guess that. That might be something. If I looked at that, it might be something that somebody did by hand.
I wish I could take that kind of credit, but no, I did not paint that. It's just a picture with effect.
Well,
But nonetheless, it still looks good.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
dude. It looks really awesome. I think it brings out the feel of that type of shot almost even more than a picture might in some respects.
Well, yeah, and it's that particular subject, Mount Shasta, holds a special place for me. So any picture of that mountain is just awesome in my opinion. But again, I'm highly biased. So that there is Mount Shasta. It's the southernmost volcano in the Cascade Range on the Pacific Northwest. So that's we'll put it far north California, and there's lots of legends. They say that when Atlantis and Lemuria fought a war, Atlantis won. Lemurians were driven underground, and so they live in these caves underneath Mount Shasta, and they're all interconnected to other points in the planet and the globe. And Mount Shasta City, it's a huge. I say huge, but it's a small town, but nonetheless, it's still a huge haven for mystic types and just people trying to find oneness with nature,
Huh.
and
That's
all the
wild.
magic that has to offer. And
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of the explanation behind that. So I
That's
didn't mean to
pretty
go
cool.
into it.
No, I appreciate that explanation. I'll have to check that out. I personally visited a friend in Oregon one time. Make it any more north than that, but I drove in through the Columbia, by the Columbia River or whatever. Is that Columbia
Oh,
River?
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I drove in at sunset, right next to the river, and it was just amazing.
Beautiful.
The nature out there is just so expansive. It makes you forget how expansive it is living in. We don't really have
Well,
much
see,
physical
and
features. Yeah, it's awesome.
it's like part of my philosophy is just that. It's that like we are just these little tiny beings in this ginormously unfathomable large system, and like we tend to put our ego first before type of thing. So it's just we need to so I try not to get into like long monologue.
I think
Yeah.
this is part of these types of conversations in the middle of the art dissect. They're fun, in my opinion. I think you're right. I think getting out into that type of expansive nature does well for cooling one's ego. Maybe might be the term for it.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, because for me, it's and how I put it in the description for this piece. It's when you're in the woods, you're kind of in a natural cathedral. You know what I mean? Like, say that you're walking through a grove of trees and how the branches fall around you. You're just walking through the archways of, this natural church, for lack of a better word. And you just can, for me, that's how I find oneness, with Mother Earth. Because, and it helps, like you said, remind us that we aren't for as much as we like to think that we are the only soul thing here on the planet. It's just in my opinion, we're like we're a whole system. We're part of a system, and we can't really destroy that. Right? Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to parse out my words and not get caught in stutter
No, sometimes I get stuck, and so I appreciate when somebody can
Yeah, totally.
point me towards the correct word that I'm trying to find. So I just try to do
Yes,
that
thank you.
if someone else.
That's a cathedral. Ooh, yeah, Ziggy.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. I like that.
Yeah. Natural Cathedral. Title of your next piece. Yeah, Ziggy. That's a good idea. Hell yeah. I actually, growing up, I had this spot that I used to call the Hall of Trees because the trees were situated that it looked like a giant hallway created by the trees on each side. One of my favorite places to hang out growing up.
And there's a lot of cool spots like up here in these 3 states: Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. I'm just a big uh, proponent of like it being north is its own state and south is its own state. California,
Oh
right?
yes, oh definitely. I haven't visited Southern California, but I was fortunate enough to go down to Humboldt at one point back in college and visited some friends there, and we camped out for 2 nights right in the middle of the woods in the redwood forest. There, they just let you, or at least they did back then. I don't know if they do now.
Was
but
it Patrick's Point?
Oh gosh, I don't know where we
That's
camped.
the spot where you can
It
camp
was
now.
it was just somewhere random on the way to Humboldt is where we ended
Oh,
up camping.
okay.
So we weren't actually there yet when we camped. We just pulled off the side somewhere and just camped camped by the side of the river. And the water was so cold and so clean. You could see all the way down to the bottom. And the trees are just like, you can't comprehend how big they are until you see them in person. You really can't.
No, like, so that reminds me of a story. In 6th grade, we took a field trip to like like a local park that had some redwoods in it. We were living, I think it was Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, cool.
And so right there's lots of groves, redwoods and whatnot. And the teacher had some string, and so we had to wrap a string around the base of the entire tree. And so she took that length of string, we took it back to the classroom, and that string was able to like circumference the room like 1.5, almost 2 times. Just because I mean, like, so to show us at the time just how big that tree was compared to something else that we were familiar with already.
Oh yeah, my friend at the time took me frisbee golfing at the school's frisbee golf
Disc
park.
golf.
Yeah, disc golf. And it was, if you threw your disc behind one of the trees, that you're automatically losing like 2 throws because you got to throw around from the tree. Is ridiculous.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, big
Unless
shout
you're
out
one of
to
those dudes
Ziggy
who
right now. Big shout out to Ziggy. He did our poster for Artist Hour. Looks awesome.
It does.
If anybody needs any work done for logo or banner for your Twitter profile, he's the guy to hit up. He's open for work. If anybody wants anything done, I actually commissioned him for a different BBStudios banner for every month for the rest of the year.
Nice.
Excited to see what comes of May.
We're almost there. I can't believe it's almost May for that.
Oh, tell me about it. It's crazy how fast this year's going so already.
Yeah. Like my first post on Twitter for my art account was like January 7th. And I had no idea that it would just turn into this crazy rush of things that it has been, like it's all good, it's been a good thing in my life.
Oh yeah,
definitely. I never would have imagined having, almost 2,000 followers on Twitter and people saying, hey, your art's cool. Meet all these cool people and, make friendships, with the best way we can through technology, and so it's been, really awesome ride. So
Yeah, no, I really appreciate all of your help with BBStudios and getting all of these projects to, hurdle. I should say.
Yeah, man, and on that note, many thanks to you, for taking this on and making sure everything is what it is. Because without you putting out that tweet like, "Hey, who wants to join a guild?" or whatever it was, and I was like, "How about me?" Okay, I was like, "Sweet," like totally brand new, and wasn't for that, then I wouldn't be here talking to you and everybody else today. So.
Oh, I know, yeah. And we're so new that, even at the time when I proposed that, I didn't realize there was already the guild in existence. And they were gracious enough to be nice about the fact that we were kind of copying them. But now we're just BBStudios, so there's no brand infringement there.
Right.
So big shout out to the guild.
Yes.
Who we are no longer infringing on anymore. Now that we know about them. But yeah, no, that's what the great thing about this space is, though. It's so new that even if you're late to it, you're not super late. Yeah, we did start off as Block Bake, but nobody can pronounce that correctly, so we decided to ditch that and go with BB, which everyone else, I think, likes a lot better. Block Bake was actually a homage to... I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying Block Bake is a homage to... we started out with Tezos Private Baker, so that was kind of a homage to that before we got into crypto art, me and Bake.eth.
So, hey, what was that link for Dab Dragon's benefit, Dilla?
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what?
Right?
We got so damn distracted. Easy. Is it cool if we run just a little bit over? I'm going to try to reload Dab Dragon's scene right now. I'm going to publish it right
I just
now.
didn't want, Dabs to get left out there.
Yeah, no, I get so... Dude, I ramble sometimes. I forget the time.
I'm the same way.
We're having such a good conversation, So I'm reloading Dab's scene right now. We'll see if it pulls up. I put this scene together to showcase everything that Dab Dragon has on sale right now to support himself. And I will bring up that link again while we're waiting for that to load. OpenSea Dab Dragon. So this is his account. I just posted the link right there if you want to go and check out his work. I personally really love the waterfall, the backlit waterfall. Oh, you're not starting till 6:30, Easy? I thought you were starting at 6. Okay, that's cool. Awesome. We got plenty of time then. Probably even have some music from Sandy. We got 30 minutes. Yeah, so check out his OpenSea account there. He's got some awesome works. Let's see, I'm jumping in right now here. We'll see if... So we got the new website up last night. I'll type that in again for everybody. So we got the new website up last night, and he was re-uploading all of the content, and we weren't sure whether that was going to break the links to my Decentraland scene or not. So that's what we're about to find out, if it did or not. Everything looked all right in the preview, so I went ahead and published. We'll see if that was just because if that was the last thing that was in memory or not. I'm not sure. So this could break, but we'll find out in a second. Hey, Magmaster. Hey, you want to hop on real quick and say hi? Sorry I missed your show yesterday, by the way.
Hey, what's up? Thanks a lot for the intro. Yeah, hey guys, really great show. Been listening a lot of insight. You guys rock, keep on rocking, and keep going until Eason comes in there. So it'll keep us with something to listen to in the background while we multitask here.
For anybody listening new that hasn't heard it before, Magmaster also was present for the first show I did with Dab Dragon and was co-hosting that at the time, actually. So it's crazy. It's been so long, and not that long at the same time. But did Dab Dragon make it in at all today, guys? I haven't talked to him today. I talked to him yesterday a little bit.
I didn't see him.
Too bad. I think he's probably still resting up. He had a real rough day yesterday, or the day before. I mean.
And please, BB, I know he knows, though I don't reach out as much, but I think he knows absolutely. Tell him, please. He's always on my thought and prayers. And yeah, but just at the same time, BB, listen, props to you, man. You've been a great supporter of the community. You've brought content that is unbelievable. And man, you made your space and belongs to you. And hats up to you for that. And thanks a lot for being part of this community. You're just growing us as a better community altogether. So rock on, dude.
Well, I really appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you guys giving me the shot, to do that. And I'm really terrible about. I've missed the last couple of your shows. I'm gonna definitely make a big effort to hit the next one, just because it's a weird time for me and I get distracted, and it's like, damn, I missed your show again. So I'm gonna be the next one for sure. But I love your shows too. Like, you've got a really good, different, like, just random going into the weeds on stuff, and I never know what I'm going to listen to when I tune in on your show. I like that too.
Yeah, as a flavor, a little bit of what Dab brought to us. It's I call it Sunday's confession because we never really know, what route we're gonna go. Of course, when we have like, how can I say, recognize, figures in the scene, like the Josie and all that. Of course, it's easier to have predetermined questions and have like a good direction for the entire hour. But sometimes, it's just people that's just been in this space, but have been contributing in so many ways that, conversation can go a little bit of everywhere. But thanks, BBStudio, really appreciate that. And like I said, what you guys do also, listen, be like, I think the first one that's gonna be Sandy. Yeah, there's a lot of open slot here. We can provide content 24 hours 7 with all the different time zone. And BB Studio, you came in. That's what I'm saying. That when you just came in and filled a hole that was needed. And thank God you're around. And thank God that all the new people. And if you're out there too right now, don't lose hope. Token Smart is a great place to be. Be participative. Be part of the community. And you never know, you may have your voice on air on your own podcast here on the Token Smart server. Now, of course, I'm not preaching for the team there, but I'm just saying my own experience. And a lot of people like yourself in the studio, you experienced it yourself. That was, that's how it came about.
Yeah, definitely. And you bring up a good point there that, if we are going through mini crypto art winters, it's going to be good to have some people to weather the storm with.
Yeah.
And like, if you're creating content the whole time while you're weathering that storm, when you come out on the other side, you're going to be that much more better positioned to take advantage of any opportunities that you receive.
Go ahead, Bob. I'll go right after you.
Oh, well, no, I was just going to touch it in that regard. I'm kind of that way because I have tons of photos that I want to put out that I just haven't gotten around to. So I'm kind of in that boat right now, but it's for different reasons, I guess. But yeah, so that's definitely a good thing, but I guess it would more go to all the timing, because right now, like you said, we're talking about we're kind of in a crypto winter, so I guess it would just depend on when the best time is to mint it. But then again, going forward, that also depends on the artist. Some artists I've seen like to mint and not put it for sale, but yeah.
We're just it's Wild West still. There's these markets are still forming, they're still maturing, and you just kind of gotta give your grab a foothold. But what I always really envied about artists, and really like actors or anybody like the ability to create content and just using your own time. That's pretty cool, because in the past you used to have to own land to create, to extract resources or something like that. Like anytime you can create content with a fixed cost, and maybe even more so now, you know, you get a computer and a program at a fairly fixed cost, and now you can create content at will using your time, right? Whereas in the past, maybe getting into a space would require a significant and continual financial commitment. And that's kind of how BBStudios and I looked at when we first got into this, when we were just trying to decide whether to buy our Decentraland plot or not. BBStudios hadn't even really gotten into Decentraland. I had messed around with it a couple of times. I'd actually seen beta. It looked at it like a beta of somebody messing around with the Oculus Quest trying to get to work. I kind of aped into it at a good time, found a good price point on Mana back in December. But I realized, and actually BBStudios realized, he was the one that realized it. I was still thinking Web 2, right? When I bought it, I told BBStudios, I was like, dude, we got to get a sweet, a sweet gallery put up here. We got to make it look nice. And he's like, why? And he was like, I have to give him credit for this. He had pretty much the whole idea for this. And he's like, why? Why wouldn't we just switch out whenever we want? Like, what do you mean? We need a building, right? And BBStudios he's just like, why would we need a building? We don't need a building. We can do whatever we want. Well, that's a good point.
Oh, true. Yeah. Well, I mean, and hindsight's 2020. I kind of missed that cheap ticket boat, you know, because like it'd be awesome to have a little plot there, you know, my own to, you know, for me, you know, but it's just that you know, with how popular it is, what I can tell, you know, land's kind of like out of my price range currently, I think.
It's around, you're probably not going to get cheaper than probably around $2,500, $3,000 at the moment. I would think would be maybe the cheapest you could price them off of somebody.
Or like what, like a one, like
yeah, like we have. Yeah, just a 16 by 16. That's it.
Jeez,
that's all.
wow.
That's all we could afford. You know, we got. I think when we got ours, it was a perfect storm. I got in. I swooped in and got Mana. It dipped one night back in December down to like 11 cents, and so I got the majority of the Mana that we needed. And then BBStudios and I just went on the map and we were searching. And what happens is sometimes people forget to update their prices, and so this one guy had super cheap plot. Still listed.
Oh, okay.
So it was a double whammy there. We got, otherwise we would have been priced. Yeah. Sandy, I know. Chaos. He always likes to say hi. But yeah, we got real lucky on that. And then BBStudios, like I said, he realized, why would we not switch content out all the time? Because that was what, at the time, even, I mean, you know, Decentraland has come a long way in 3 months. I don't know if anybody else has realized this.
No, I haven't done spend enough time in there myself to be cognizant to anything that might have changed.
They really have. I mean, there's a lot of retooling going on under the hood. I'm guessing. You know, I do a little program myself, and it's from the looks of it to me, they're retooling under the hood. And I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple of quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
that's good. Oh yeah. All right. Speaking of which, also on the note, when Cyberdogs is the next one up, right?
Yeah, Cyberdogs. I think, barring any last minute developments, the BBStudios members have asserted they would like to go with Ghost Market. So I think that's where we're headed for Cyberdogs.
That'll be exciting for sure.
To be honest, I'm not jazzed about creating a new wallet, but I'll suffer through it. I'll do it. I just need like, I don't know about you. I just need like a vault with all wallet like cards. I could just toss them all into and not worry about them.
Yeah, I think I'm not a expert in like the programming and all that stuff myself by any means, but from my understanding, I think Trust Wallet has a good cross network compatibility. You know, it's because because you can hold the what is it BNC coins and the ERC coins.
Oh yeah, yeah. ERC20 base coins and other chains as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the correct phrasing.
Nice. I'll have to look at Trust Wallet. So yeah, I think that would round out my wallet selection. Actually, if I got a Trust Wallet, I think I'd probably only be missing a Wax wallet at that point.
Except for Ghost, though, since we're on topic still, that you have to get it. That is its own little wallet thing for itself. You can't from as far as I can tell, it has like a ARC cross chain thing to it, but like it's still separate. So, but Magus would be the one to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have Magus on here probably before. Really, I'll see if I can squeeze them on before the release of Cyber Dogs.
Is that how you pronounce Magus?
Magus? That's how I've been pronouncing it. He didn't, or if he did, I didn't hear him correct me.
Okay. I've always just said Magus for some
Really?
reason.
See, I
Yeah.
pronounce things incorrectly all the time. So if I'm doing it incorrectly, then somebody needs to tell me. Or I'll just keep pronouncing it.
I was born in Texas, and so everywhere I go, I always have that little bit of like twang inflection sometimes. You know, I guess it depends on the day. So like, you know, there's been times like, are you Irish? And like, dude, I'm like, where did you get Irish from? Like, no, from Texas. Oh, okay. What? Yeah,
That's funny. I got cousins out there. Love Austin.
Austin is awesome. And the coast.
I've never been to the coast.
No, it's this
Like Galveston area, or
yeah, it's Galveston's good. Corpus Christi's another good gym. South Padre Island, like it's a good spot to go. You know, a lot of people take their campers down there and actually camp out on the beach.
nice.
Stuff. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that out sometime. That sounds like fun.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the only out east. I don't really have that much experience, but in California, you can't really walk on the beach without some property owner starting to get mad and yell at you. So that's the good thing about Texas is that they've actually passed a law some years back regarding not about keeping the beaches open for everybody, like the Free Beach Act or something like that, uh, which is cool because the whole being able to hang out in nature, but in that part of nature, you know, the beach and the ocean, you know, and not have to go home back to your domicile is, you know, a good thing for me. But then again, I also grew up camped out on beaches and stuff like that. So, like I said, I'm biased. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I almost got arrested one time in college. We were making a sculpture, and we were using some of the sea dune, some of the dune grass for a sand sculpture. And cop came out, and we were drinking the beach, and he was about to arrest us, and then he saw the sea dunes grass that we had in there, and he said, "Do you realize I can arrest you for some crazy federal felony for ripping out sea dune grass, endangered because it was endangered?" And I looked down the beach, right? I said, the only reason the damn grass is endangered is because there's 10 hotels right on the beach here. And he looks around and just like, there's like no denying it. I was like, oh yeah, duh. And so he let us off. He let us off with a warning, a stern warning. I think we mentioned that. Sorry, keep going.
No, he's good. It's funny you mention that though, because in Texas, the seagrass is actually protected. You can't take your boats in certain parts of the flats, because of your propeller will tear up the grass and it will mess up the habitat for some other little fish or something. Yeah, so I understand that sentiment of how to be careful with the grass and whatnot.
Yeah. No, it was funny. I think we would have gotten written up had it not been. But sometimes humor can get you out of sticky situations.
Yeah. So sorry. I don't know if I should keep on talking. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. We're pretty much wrapping up here. I'm gonna just drop all your links again real quick for everybody to catch. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna try to drop them all in just one post here. Boom. There's all of Bodhi Zai's links. If you want
hang on. Let me get you my Ghost Market link too. I don't even know how to do that. So my
Let me see if I can tip everybody here. I don't know if I have any whale left. I'll see if I have any whale left. Tip. See if I can remember how to tip. Tip.
So I don't know if that link will work for anybody, but that is the one for my Ghost Market as well. Well,
I can't afford it. I'm out of whale. I must have tipped too much the other day. My bad.
Well, BB, I gotta say thank you, man, for having me on.
Dude, it was awesome. This was a great first show. I think this was really a great first show. We got a ton of people that showed up, by the way. I don't know if you paid attention to the list of people that tuned in, but a ton of people. Thanks everybody for showing up.
Was the 1100? Is that how many people were listening to me ramble?
No, that's how many are online. I don't know if that's how many are in the actual. It's on the left. You see how many people are in the actual live stream. So there's still a good amount of people.
Still a lot, yeah.
And that's our first show, so that's pretty indicative of where we're heading. I think that's awesome, yes. Sandy. That's got to be a record for us. We only had like 15 show up at the BBStudios because we're not established. That's why I reached out to Sandy. I was like, it didn't make sense to try to take this content off platform onto a separate one. We need to stay on here where there's already a cozy, warm community. And she agreed, thankfully. And so, yeah. So easy. You want to jump on?
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks again, Bodhi Zai. Thanks again for being the first, the distinguished first guest of Artist Hour.
It's always fun being the guinea pig.
Hell yeah.
But no, I guess like it's been established, lots of fun. I think I was able to loosen up a little bit as the hour went by, with my talking and whatnot. But
no, you're fine, man. You did great.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I'll be checking everybody, guys. I'll see everybody out there in the metaverse.
Oh yeah, cool. Catch you later, Bodhi. What's up, BB?
Nice work, Bodhi. Just really enjoyed this show. About kind of the first part, I was on the road, but been home for a little bit now, and yeah, just definitely enjoyable content and conversation. Really nice to have this slot leading up to the podcast party. So yeah, the more the merrier. This is awesome.
I know, man. How awesome is it that we got paired together? This is great.
Hell yeah. Makes nice for like a good little kind of wind out and wind up too, because we can just kind of jump on mic at the end of your show and catch up a little, and we'll have probably in the next just 10 minutes or so Jose will be coming on. He's going to play some tunes for us today to open up, and nice. We're back to our regular schedule after the whole party and all that with the Snoop drops, and so yeah, just had to be back on the Monday evening with y'all.
Dude, I have finally it's amazing. I look forward to Mondays now.
Yeah, no, Mondays used to be not at all my favorite.
Right?
Kind of the worst day of the week, and over the last year or so of doing these, it's turned into pretty much my favorite day of the week.
Isn't that
Get to-
amazing?
Yeah, totally. Get to hang out with everybody here and just kind of catch up. And, the podcast is always awesome and helps us kind of wrap up the last week of craziness and get ready for this week. All sorts of stuff too. This week's going to be a busy one. Like tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be over on Mighty My as a guest with Kinshasa, the founder of Cypher. So we're going to talk about some Cypher stuff. And
Nice.
then on Wednesday is going to be the first LiberNet event here in Token Smart. And then there's like, little alpha here. We're like launching books on chain. It's definitely going to be one that people want to catch, especially if you're into literature and that kind of thing.
Like as an
and
independent
then-
like publishing service?
Yeah, so it's going to be exactly a publishing service, both actually for NFTs and physical copies. So like there'll be cool stuff where, and I might be leaking alpha that I shouldn't be yet, but hey, who's listening? Hope nobody on the team's in here. Or we might be able to do stuff where like you could possibly get like a one-of-one book that, or a one-of-one NFT that has like a special cover, but maybe that would even be deployable in real world to where like people would have the same book in real world with their special cover on it and stuff like all sorts of cool stuff that we'll be able to do both with physical and digital. So NFT, real world publishing as well, and just giving the same kind of benefits of creative freedom and financial freedom, because the book and literature space is like pretty rough. Like from the writers that I've talked to, it's really tough working with publishing houses out there. So if you're able to put your own content the way that you want out and to reach your own fans, like this is going to be the shit. And then of course, building community around it and rewarding, those people that are using the platform and stuff. So that's going to be really cool. That's Wednesday, and that's basically our kind of big launch coming out party. And then Thursday, we got the first Cypher after the whip, which is going to be our kind of regular scheduling for the main ciphers, the weekly ciphers. We're also going to be firing up some like kind of more like pop-up, but maybe on a schedule.
What time on Wednesday for the ciphers?
Oh, so Thursday after
or Thursday.
So 3 p.m. Pacific. So that's 3 hours after the whip starts.
So
Usually the whip is 6 p.m. East Coast. Usually the whip is a couple hours, and then that leaves people time to, go grab a Sammy or catch up on some messages and then hop back in for the cipher. So yeah, super exciting stuff.
That's cool. I think I caught the first cipher and then like the third cipher, and then I've missed a bunch just because I keep getting the time zones screwed up.
Oh, and we were kind of hopping around a little too. I'm just gonna do a drop in Easy.
Yeah,
corner.
Let's head over. Everybody, let's head over to Easy's Corner right now. If anybody's still on Artist Hour,
To get people in. Little server jump. It's just one.
everybody head over to Easy's